Now to the aftermath of the deadly tornado that hit without warning a little over 24 hours ago. This is the young family shattered by the storm in Livonia. A tree fell on their home, killing 3-year-old Cooper and critically injuring his mom, Corinne. The EF1 tornado also hit Rotary Park on its 5.5-mile path. The park now closed because of all that damage. Chopper 7 flew over more fallout in Port Huron, where it's believed straight-line winds knocked down trees and power lines. And in Highland Park, 2 men suffered critical injuries when their vehicles were hit by a falling tree. Tonight, 7 News Detroit reporter Kimberly Craig is raising voices after the storm and digging into why there was no warning.
When there's a weather emergency, local municipalities like the city of Livonia activate their sirens when they get a notification from the National Weather Service. But Wednesday, that notification never came. Were you surprised that you didn't hear the sirens?
Yes, very surprised, because anytime there's a raindrop, the sirens go off. We've even had them go off during snowstorms. So I was very surprised.
And it was a tornado that spun up out of the system that developed literally at the border of Livonia.
Brian Kahn heads up Livonia's emergency preparedness, and he said they didn't trigger the sirens because the National Weather Service never issued a warning.
There just simply wasn't the forewarning or the notice to get that information out.
Information that would have been helpful to so many people, including 13-year-old Maya, who was home alone at the time. Had you heard the siren, what would you have done?
Probably gone in the basement.
Jacqueline Anderson is a meteorologist with the National Weather Service here in Michigan and coordinates those warnings.
So there was a very weak circulation that we were seeing on radar for a very brief moment of time when that tornado was on the ground.
She said a weak tornado spun up faster than they could assess it.
It was just a very quick moving environment, and things were changing rapidly to the point where it was very difficult for us.
Anderson said looking at the damage, they estimate the tornado was on the ground for about 9 minutes. I asked why that wasn't enough time to trigger a warning.
Our radar updates were coming in about every 4 to 5 minutes. So if you think about that in the grand scheme of things, it's possible that we weren't getting the best sampling of what was happening, given how fast that tornado spun up.
Sometimes, clearly, you may not get that warning, and even if you do get the tornado warning, it may only be moments before the tornado gets there.
7 News meteorologist Mike Taylor says that's why it's so important to not just watch the forecast, but also look at changing weather around you.
We were talking about the severe weather potential since Sunday, looking at Wednesday. So that's 3.5 days notice about, hey, the storms on Wednesday, pay more than the usual attention to them because they could really be, dangerous.
Did any of your trained National Weather Service spotters pick up anything?
We didn't receive any information from them.
I was really surprised we didn't hear anything, because I know it did come fast, but you could see those clouds moving in. I think something could have been done, prevented a death.
In Livonia, Kimberly Craig, 7 News Detroit.